I attend the Advent here with my wife, Jenny, and we have 3 children: Mallory, who's 5, Noah, who'll be 3 at the end of this month, and then Hannah, who's 5 months old. And I was asked just to briefly speak about what the Advent means to me. And, there's a lot of great things that our family loves about the Advent, from the young family events and the Wednesday night suppers. But when it comes to what the Advent means to me, there's really one experience in our family that truly solidified exactly what this church means to me. I know some of you know this story, but some of you don't, so I'll share it with you. Our son Noah, who's going to be 3 at the end of this month, was born with an undiagnosed congenital heart defect. And Jenny and I had gone to Greenville Hospital expecting a normal delivery like we expected on our first child. And when we got there, obviously it changed into something much, much different than that. And I'll never forget, the look on Jenny's face that night when the NICU doctor had to physically take our son from her and take him to the NICU. And Jenny and I sat in that room, which, they call them mom-baby rooms, but we didn't have a baby. And we hit a low, low point that night. Just a feeling of hopelessness and despair that we hadn't ever dealt with before. But that next morning, Steve McGee, and I guess he's still with the kids, and Laura Balknight came into our hospital room. And Laura brought this little wooden cross, this little clinging cross for praying, and gave it to us. And they sat there and they talked with us and they listened to our stories and they listened to what was going on and they prayed with us and they assured us that other people of the church were aware of what was going on and they were praying for us and that they're praying for Noah as well. And that just really meant a lot to us at the time. And then Noah was then flown from Greenville to MUSC for heart surgery. It just happened to be that Ned was at the Barrier Islands with one of his children. And he found out about it and, borrowed a car from somebody, drove to MUSC, came to the hospital. He sat with us in the waiting room while Noah was in surgery. He prayed with us, and it was Ned, my parents, Jenny's parents, I think my aunt and uncle. So it was family. It was only family, and Ned was there. And it just meant so much to us to have that kind of support going through something that we didn't know how to deal with. But he prayed with us and stayed with us until the surgeon finally came back and told us that everything had gone well, had gone as planned. It took a little bit longer than they thought, but it had gone as they had hoped it would. And he's doing well today. But I remember thinking about this at the time, but much more over the past few years, and thinking back on that experience and saying, this is what a church is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fellowship of believers living out their faith in Christ by praying and taking care of other people. And that's what the Advent means to me, if you ask me. It's family. It's taking care of others. Being there, sharing times together when things are good, like Friday night at the oyster roast, but then being there for each other when it hits rock bottom, when you're waiting in that waiting room, not knowing the outcome of the surgery. So that's what the Advent means to me, and that's why this is my Advent, your Advent, and our Advent. Thank you.